Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the...
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the New York Giants and good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And the Dallas Cowboys. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
And he's got to be feeling pretty good about his individual performance from last week's game. I mean, he did throw 4 touchdown passes, so he's in sync with his receivers, and they're very confident. Did have 1 interception.
Yeah, 1 pick.
And
they lost.
Yeah, so no matter how many touchdowns he threw, if it comes in a loss, he's not going to be satisfied.
The numbers for Zeke from last week: 17 carries, 127 yards, and a score.
He's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
I don't believe that was called right here in the moment. I believe this was called during practice this week, that he was going to decide to be aggressive even on his own side of the field.
Just you mean because it's the opening drive? Maybe they had this scripted?
I think that he just talked about it with his team and said, listen, I'm confident in you. If we end up in this situation, we'll go for it early just to set a tone in this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try to sweep with Elliott. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Evan Ingram with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good announcements. apologies. I run outside sometimes, so get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Bridgewater on first down. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards, good for a giant first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's the offense, and we give you too much power here. We let you highlight the player. Why'd you choose Zeitler?
Because I think the big guys up front never get enough credit. Kevin Zeitler, a guard, tough, nasty. We've got to give him some love.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Here's Elliott. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. 46. Key in, 21. 26.
Prescott to throw it. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Prescott on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, look now at our starting defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On third down, Bridgewater. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Mack Wilson with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And that one came close to hitting the big scoreboard up there as the fair catch is made inside the 20-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The throw over the middle, taken in, and way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Prescott now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Elliott. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 47. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Face mask. Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
On 2nd and goal, Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Williams, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Here's Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field. Definitely
a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And now here come the Cowboys. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league,
touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Play fake. Bridgewater. He'll bite, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones, because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tyreek Hill, his 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Oh, this is blocked. And the Giants have a big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 40, past the 20, and he will not be able to get any further. Brought down inside the 10. A long way to go for nothing. It comes up empty.
So when the Rules Committee decided to put some excitement into the PAT, or the extra point, this is what they were talking about. Blocked, returned, nearly for 2 points, but great hustle and a big-time tackle prevented that.
That's what I was just going to say. Excellent hustle to stay with it after the block and make that tackle. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Able to get this to Gordon.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Fighting him off. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway.
And got his man complete. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there. 82 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. There's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on them. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. He gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Got Gordon open, completes it. And he's got this down to the 35.
Let's go, baby.
So we've reached half. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Bridgewater now. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go, DJ.
On 2nd and 12, Bridgewater, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Well, they gave the 60-yarder a try, didn't make it, and now they're in a tough position defensively. This offense has it at midfield. A first down carry by Elliott. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
We love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. 4th down, Prescott finds his tight end Ingram.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Right here.
Now Bridgewater able to find Shaheen here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Steps away. And he's going to keep it here. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They come in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
We got 4.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move, 26.
Prescott. Open man right side is Ingram. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Tight end left. 4 down. 26.
On 2nd and 15 now. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 30.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Move, 26.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. What a spin. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch 88.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. This game's still fairly well. In hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start on the ground with Elliott. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. He is going to find Hill here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Well, he's got it. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 40. To throw, Bridgewater. That's complete. It's Gordon. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, they're not going to go quietly here as the wind moves them.